So I've been using iOS 16 on my main iPhone 13 Pro device for over a week, and today is June 16, so it is a perfect time to drop an iOS 16 video. Without further ado, let's begin. Now, in my last iOS 16 video, I covered some hidden secret features that Apple didn't tell you about, and ever since then, there have been TikToks, Instagram Reels, and countless YouTube videos showcasing more hidden features. Of course, I'm going to be showcasing them towards the end of this video, so make sure you guys keep on watching. But I want to share some of my favorite features of iOS 16, and this is going to be one of those updates actually where once you update, it's going to be a little hard for you to go back to iOS 15, and I'm in that same position right now because iOS 16, this is only the first beta. Of course, there's some glitches, there's some bugs. I don't recommend you guys installing it on your main personal device. It's not recommended. But for me, in the sake of science and for my YouTube channel, I did the complete opposite, and I absolutely love iOS 16. Feature number one. This is actually a hidden feature that Apple didn't tell you about. Haptic Keyboard. To be able to tap individual keys and getting that satisfying haptic on the keyboard is actually pretty nice. It feels good to type on iOS again, and I wouldn't say this is a feature that I can't live without. I can turn it off and be just fine, but just having that tactile feeling when you pressing each key, it kind of just make it seem like you tapping on the mechanical keyboard. Well, it's not the same effect, but it just makes the typing experience so much more satisfying, and it just feels good in the hands. Yeah, the Flossie Carter reference. FaceTime live captions. Now, this is in beta, and I actually FaceTime my friends last week, I think 3 days after installing the beta, and I realized the live captions were enabled. I forgot to enable them when I was making my first iOS 16 video, and it threw me off at first, and I realized very quickly that I had it on, and it was pretty accurate. Even the curse words shows it on the live caption. But it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, and you will need to download the live caption to get the definitions, and it's going to drain a little bit more battery life than usual, so just keep that in mind. But live captions is good. It's not great. It's not perfect, of course, but it's still a right step in the direction. And this is something that is going to be handy if you have a hearing disability, or maybe you're in an environment where you can't have your phone on speakerphone. The live caption is going to work just fine. Now, another feature, I see a lot of people going to use this one, to be able to cut out the background in individual photos. So basically, you can tap and hold a picture, and iOS 16 is automatically going to cut out the background. Yet again, this isn't perfect, and this is also not available on the iPhone 8 or iPhone 10. Those devices is not going to support this cutout feature. But if you have an iPhone 10R, 10S, or later, this is gonna work just fine. And this is amazing. So all those years of Photoshop classes, what was the point? Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not perfect. I wish we can edit them, maybe change up the mask a little bit, maybe, or add a little feather to it. But it would have been nice, but this is something that's so quick and easy. And number four, one of the highlight features of iOS 16, the lock screen redesign. I love this so much, to be able to instantaneously switch lock screen. So for example, when I'm going to the gym, I have a different lock screen. So I have the activity ring, I have my AirPods battery percentage, and I have the weather outside. This is my go-to setup. I'm always wearing my Apple Watch. I'm starting workouts. And I like to see those activity rings fill up right there on my lock screen. I wish we have the live view enabled. This is not available just yet. You finally have your iPhone battery percentage on the lock screen of your iPhone. Unfortunately, it's not on the status bar, but having it on the lock screen is a nice step. I actually don't like when you switch in lock screens, it changes your wallpaper on your home screen. Then you got to go into the settings and then switch it back. Nah. Feature number five, this one is small but extremely effective. To be able to search Spotlight right on your home screen without doing the swipe down gesture, it makes it more efficient to access the Spotlight search and makes things a little bit more niftier. So I like the fact that you could just tap on search what you need to search for, and that's it. It's more faster than doing a gesture down and then type in. Just tap one time and then search what you want. Now, my previous iOS 16 video, I did mention that Face ID works horizontally, and this is like, I can't stress this enough on how much of a big deal this is. Let's say you're watching a movie, right? and you lock your phone. Maybe you have to, use the bathroom or something like that, and you lock your phone. I don't know. Or you could just simply pause it, but just use this analogy for a second. You can unlock your iPhone sideways, so you don't have to rotate it, portrait, and then switch it back to landscape. You can just use your phone horizontally and resume your movie or whatever you was doing. Or better yet, your phone is mounted up into the car. You can quickly unlock your iPhone. It makes things so much better. It took Apple a while to figure this out, but nonetheless, iOS 16 fixes that problem. On Apple Maps, I appreciate the ability to add stops. This makes a big difference. Let's say, for example, you're going to go to the barbershop, then the shopping mall. You could be able to add those two destinations into one trip. So in this case, I could be able to put multiple destinations. So Miami Beach, and Key West all in one without doing everything individually. This makes a world of difference. And pair that up with the improving visuals, Apple Maps received a solid update this year. And I don't know about you guys, but Apple Maps is my primary map app. Let me know down in the comments down below, do you use Apple Maps? And like I said from the very beginning, this is going to be one of those updates where once you have it on your device, it's going to be difficult to get back to iOS 15. Now, that leads me into more hidden features. I discovered a lot more this time, and you guys probably might know these features already, but nonetheless, I'm still going to share them. Hidden feature number one, you could be able to favorite your favorite artists on Apple Music. So you'll get notifications from your artists indicating that if they drop in music. Hidden feature number two, paste confirm. If you copy something on a third-party app and then you paste it onto another third-party app, in this case, from YouTube to Instagram, you're going to have a prompt pop-up that says, would you like to confirm this paste from YouTube to Instagram? You just tap on confirm and it's going to paste it on there. It could be annoying because it's an extra step, but if you copy something from multiple apps, it could get a little like confusing. So, you might be lost on where that paste came from. So it's a good thing, but it's more steps. I wish iOS could have a clipboard history so you can copy multiple things other than just one thing at a time. Maybe we'll get that on a iOS 16.1 or something like that. Joycons support. So now you can finally pair up Joy-Cons to your iOS device. So on the iPad and on the iPhone, you could be able to pair up Joy-Cons and play your favorite iOS games. Feature number 4, this one here is really handy. Wi-Fi password sharing or Wi-Fi password reveal. You could be able to see your Wi-Fi password on your iPhone. Why did my monitor shut down? Why? Why? And I know I got this glare, the studio light. Gone are the days of someone saying, yo, bro, what's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, hold on, let me get the sheet of paper.
And you look at the paper, it's some long-ass password. Now, iOS made it a little easier because if you decide to connect to the same Wi-Fi network as your iPhone, you could be able to share the password. But sometimes you're not on an iPhone. You may be on an Android or maybe on a Nintendo Switch. It's different devices. So to be able to see the password on the iOS Wi-Fi setting sheet, that's pretty handy. Number 5, I did mention this earlier, haptic feedback on the keyboard. This is something that you have to enable. It is on the sound and haptic settings, and you can be able to enable it. This is super satisfying. When you type it on the keyboard, it's literally a breath of fresh air. It really is. Feature number 6, you can view your recently deleted iMessages. So let's say, for example, you accidentally deleted a group chat. You don't have to text somebody and say, yo, invite me back into the chat. You can go into your recently deleted, restore that chat, and you're right back into the fight. Or right back into the chat, I should say. Sometimes group chats, if you leave in a group chat, that means, well, you don't want no part of it. Yeah, so now you're right back into the fight. And then next up on the photos, iOS can scan for duplicate photos. This is going to be super handy for those of you guys that are struggling on space. You can see what pictures that looks the same, and you could be able to either merge it into one picture, or you could delete them both or delete the duplicates. This is going to save a ton of space. A lot of iOS devices out there have the same photos over and over and over again, and you don't need it. Oh, and I'm getting a spam call. Why? These scams are getting out of control. I'm getting text messages, calls, iOS, phone carriers. They need to cut down the spam. If it's spam likely, don't even show it on my phone. That should be an iOS feature. Block it out completely. Ignore it. And that is basically it. I think that was a perfect time to end off the video. Those are some of the hidden features that I can find. I'm sure there's way more, but I'm not trying to make this video too long. It's getting late already. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Help me reach the 200,000 subscribers. We're getting so close. I know we can do it. Make sure you guys click on that notification bell to be notified when I upload. Drop a like on this video. Help me out tremendously. And comment down below what you guys think about iOS 16. If you guys made it all the way to the end, comment iOS 16 always on display. That's the feature that we've been missing on the iPhone, and even split screen multitasking. But we gotta wait and see once the iPhone 14 Pro releases. But split screen multitasking would have been cool. Maybe next year. All right, guys, until next time. Peace.